to Mr. His Excellency, pardon, Gustavo Gonzalez for the message.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. It is indeed a great honor to be with you with this quite talented and powerful team of the Department of Agriculture. I remember being with you even at the times of the COVID-19, which shows that we belong to a quite strong network of those that are working on one of the most fundamental human rights of humanity, which is the right to food. So thank you so much to the representatives of the Department of Agriculture, representative from Quezon City, my colleagues from the UN, representative from the Parliament. Great pleasure to be with all of you. Something very important to share from the United Nations is the fact that we are celebrating World Food Day, but World Food Day is taking place in a moment where food system is under enormous and unprecedented pressure. And you know the way that the United Nations Secretary General framed this situation. He said, global food systems are broken and billions of people are paying the price. And you have just heard previous speakers referring to the numbers of people. It's been between 700 and 800 million of people, which is in fact very close to 10% of the population worldwide, that found themselves in a state of chronic hunger based on data from 2021. And in addition, and this is something that I would like to share with you, 2 billion of people in the world, 2 billion of people in the world, they don't have regular access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. So they don't have resources, they don't have money to get access to nutritious food. It's a question of, we call it technically affordability. And as I was mentioned by the previous speakers, conflict and rising cost of living, inflation, climate shocks have all contributed to this food scarcity and high food prices. There is a very recent report of the UN FAO, the Agency of Food and Agriculture of the UN, a very recent report that says that disaster events have increased from 100 a year in the 90s to around 400 per year worldwide in the past 20 years. So we have 400 events related to natural disasters that are happening, and they have a serious impact on food and agriculture. And this remark, I think, is extremely important for a country like the Philippines. You know that the Philippines is ranking #1 in the World Risk Index, given the level of exposure to natural disasters and also given the fact of vulnerabilities of the country. But on the positive side, we have a number of new initiatives led by the government of the Philippines that in some way they are addressing this type of challenge. And this is on the very positive side. For example, the Philippine Development Plan for 2023-2028 that seeks to ensure food security and proper nutrition of Filipino families and their members through concerted efforts of the government, the private sector, other stakeholders, fostering a climate resilient-based approach to food system. In the case of the Department of Agriculture, we have a quite emblematic Philippines Rural Development Project supported by an important numbers of members of the development community. With the aim of localizing efforts to fight malnutrition, the government launched very recently the Philippine Multisectoral Nutrition Project, what we know as the PMNP. And just a few days ago, Executive Order number 44 was issued declaring the Walang Gutom 2027 food stamp programs as a flagship program of the national government. So I had the opportunity to join in the President of the Republic for this launch in Surigao. So both initiatives, the food stamp program and the multisectoral nutrition project, represent also a new generation of partnership where building alliances constitute the smartest way of addressing big challenges. And as a UN, as a member of the UN country team, we are very proud of bringing our knowledge and experience in food and nutrition security to both initiatives, and we are joining the strategic and financial support of the Asian Development Bank and the World Bank to the Philippines. We call it a tripartite partnership where the government is setting the direction in terms of national priorities. The international financial institutions, they are bringing the resources, and the UN is mobilizing its community of knowledge to support Filipino people. We are also encouraged by the priorities stated in the upcoming 2024-2028 UN cooperation framework between the Philippines and the UN country team. And their colleagues, very shortly, in just few days, the UN will be signing with the government this new UN cooperation framework that contribute to enhancing the nutrition sensitivity of agricultural programs to improve the efficiency of marketing and distribution of nutritious foods to achieve food and nutrition security. This new UN cooperation framework will also provide technical assistance to support structural and technological transformation in the agri-fishery sector, develop the blue economy, and facilitate integration with regional and global value chains, promoting the implementation of and compliance with national and global quality standards and certification, greater diversification, and supporting agricultural trade policies. So, dear partners of the Department of Agriculture and other departments of the government working on food and nutrition security, as we see, celebrating World Food Day is placing one of the most fundamental rights of humanity, which is the right to food, at the center of the development agenda. So let us transform this journey into a successful investment in good, affordable, and accessible food for all. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po. Muchas gracias.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.